Hey everybody, coming at you with another film review of a movie I just saw. Second movie for the week. I saw Hamnet tonight, and I've been wanting to see this for a while, uh, just because I've heard so much good buzz about it. It's got nominated for some Golden Globes. I liked the trailers when I saw them. Jesse Buckley, Paul Mescal, and I will tell you, sorry, my eyes are still recovering from this movie because this movie, at its heart, sneaks up on you. It will build and build and build. And there's a lot of building, there's a lot of world building happening. And then what you don't realize is you become part of this world and become so entrenched in you that you become almost the message of the film. This idea of how we as people build connections to one another, with the person we fall in love with their family, how our families merge, with our children, and then what happens and how do we process really unprocessable, let's go with it, grief when those connections are severed. This is such a beautiful and simple movie about grief, like the grief of a parent who lost a child, the grief of a couple who've lost each other, the grief of a mother um, who lost herself and is trying to find herself, the grief of us growing older and losing ourselves, our younger versions of ourselves, and our dreams and what we settle for in order to make life happen. And it is just, first I thought, geez, this is really just very dialogue heavy, so I tell you to bring a lot of patience, and like the movie says, bring an open heart, because when it happens, when you realize that you are a part of this film, I I broke down. It's like, and you realize how much unprocessed grief you have, especially over the last 5 years of life post COVID, all the changes we've gone through in life, politics, culture, everything. We've lost who we were, and it's unprocessed. And for me, I know that in those 5 years, divorce, try to create a new relationship as a single dad with my kids. My boys have grown up and moved on to college. My daughter is about to graduate. And there's a lot of grief and change. Um, but there's also catharsis, and I think this movie does catharsis very well, and that kind of is when it sneaks up on you. Um, Jesse Buckley is kind of, not even kind of, she just carries this movie with such mysticism and concern for the character of, well, I think it's Anne Hathaway, but in this movie, I didn't read the book, but they changed the name to Agnes. The idea of a mother and what a mother feels and connects to her children, to her life. And there's a lot of that within her own background of being connected to nature and being connected to a really deep, binding spirituality that gets lost. And she's trying desperately to get it back. And it's so, oh, Chloe Zhao is a director in this. It's just, you got me. This is, go see this, but again, with an open heart, a lot of patience. Again, when that moment hits, you'll know that moment hits. Where you see all of the unprocessed grief of a people who've been through a plague. And yeah, I went in, thinking a lot about this too. Like, I'm probably carrying a lot of Shakespeare and Love anger still because they beat Saving Private Ryan, but the Shakespeare stuff comes upon you, and it's there, and it's subtle, which is nice, because you're like, oh, Shakespeare's life, but it's not about Shakespeare's life, right? It's about Shakespeare's unprocessed grief with this woman he loved, and her unprocessed grief, and the loss of a child together, and it's so profound. The idea of Hamlet as a way of process is beautiful. The sets are beautiful. We were just in Stratford this summer, and we're at Anne Hathaway's cottage when Shakespeare's house. My favorite story, of course, is we thought we were at Anne Hathaway's house, like in 3 different spots at the house, and it ended up being somebody's apartment. So the guy came out and stared at us. We're like, oh, does he live in Anne Hathaway's house? No, it's his apartment. Just so no, Anne Hathaway's house is around the back. But yeah, you could see her connection to nature there with the gardens, and it's so beautiful there. And I kept thinking about that house and the stories that we heard there, and being in their rooms and being in their life in Stratford. And wow, this is a great movie. Obviously, if you're a history teacher and you want to talk about Elizabethan England and the Black Plague, it's a great movie. If you're a psych teacher and you want to talk about grief, there's a lot of use for this film in class, I would say, as a teacher. The kids do a dynamite job. Everybody does a dynamite job in this. Paul Mescal, like I said, Jesse Buckley. Yeah, it definitely got me. It got me. It got me. Oh, I didn't even think it would. It snuck up on me. So I would say definitely go with an open heart. Go prepared to internalize your own unprocessed grief, and just listen to your heart and let it ride. So, Hamnet, lovely, 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 lovely. Good job, everybody.